What if DOC never got into that car accident? What if Ice Cube didn't leave NWA? What if the Game never leaves G-Unit? What if Teddy Riley never moves to Virginia? What if we got that J. Cole and Kendrick album? What if the RZA would have never had that flood? How would the hip-hop world sound today? Welcome to Hip Hop What Is, the podcast where we dive into the biggest what could have beens in hip-hop history. From iconic album delays to game-changing partnerships that never happened, we reimagine the culture we love and explore its alternative paths. And you are now at Hip Hop What Ifs.
I'm gonna tell you a story. So on He's the DJ, I'm the Rapper, we did the song Nightmare on My Street. And don't understand, parents blew up. Radio stations started playing Nightmare on their own. So it was almost kind of like we knew what our next single was going to be. We shot a video, did the whole thing. And we got, this was around the same time that New Line Cinema got the Fat Boys to do a Nightmare song that was going to be in the movie. Yeah. So radio stations start doing this competition, whose Nightmare song is better. Mm-hmm. And we were blowing the Fat Boys off the map. And New Line Cinema, we got a message like New Line Cinema is suing you guys for doing Nightmare on My Street. Yeah. To the point that we went and had, or the lawyers went and had a meeting with them, basically saying, you realize this song is helping your movie. And they ended up, we ended up having a lawsuit, and the settlement of the lawsuit is we had to pay them, I think it might have been like $125,000. Oh, wow. They offered us 2 movie roles. Yeah. And it was kind of like, I remember us saying, do we have to accept them? And they were like, no, they're going to offer you 2 movie roles. And if you don't want them, we'll say no. We turned those movie roles down, not even paying attention to what it was. Because House Party was written for Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. Yeah. If you pay attention to House Party, there was a DJ and a rapper. Yes. And what happened was when they submitted it to us and we were like, nope, we don't want to do it. It was like, okay, get Kid and Play to do it. And then it came out and we were kind of like, shit, wow. I didn't like that blew up.
Welcome back to Hip Hop What Ifs, the show where we talk about the what ifs in hip hop history. Kyle, how you doing, my brother?
Doing good, man. Glad to be back on. Glad to be back in the seat to record, man.
Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody, man, showing us love, man. Like, dude, it's been like mad people hit me up like, yo, what you and Kyle got going? That's a dope concept. Like, I'm like, hey, man, it's gonna keep growing. Because some topics we hold in the tuck.
Right. We got to because we got to hold them in the tuck. But this one is interesting because you didn't even know about this one. Mm-hmm. This is what if DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince were a house party and not Kid and Play. So the story goes back when DJ and Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince did Nightmare on My Street. If you remember, oh, no question.
They got into a lawsuit with New Line Cinema, who owns the Freddy Krueger franchise. All right, so go with me now. So part of their deal to not get fully sued was to do a movie to like offset the lawsuit.
Wow.
It's because this is right before Will was popping with but he was still popping. You gotta remember, they was doing all these silly videos. Their concepts for their videos, younger people, was stellar music videos of like, wish I could fight Mike Tyson, girls ain't nothing. But it was, you watch their videos, you were watching it for like a story. It was gonna be a story and it was gonna be visually there for you, regardless of what the song was. Right. Even Summertime, it has that feel. But so New Line Cinema was like, all right, we were suing y'all because they used the beat. Jazzy messed up and used part of the beat from Nightmare on Elm Street with Freddy Krueger. Remember the whole concept was you can't do that. That was infringing on their copyright. Right. Not just the beat, but the actual video to it. They had Freddy Krueger in the video, like all kind of stuff that you're not supposed to do. So New Line Cinema was like, we finna sue y'all. So then somehow they were supposed to do this movie. So the script is sitting there. They see all the scripts. Like they were like, these are the scripts. So they said, all right, what about this movie House Parties? They were like, all right, cool, I guess. But then Jazzy was like, dude, I can't dance for real and stuff. You know, and it was certain aspects with that, like with that, when he's like, yo, I got the DJing part, like that's cool. So then they basically flipped it, and then they went back to Reginald Hudlin. Reginald Hudlin is the original person that wrote and directed this hit. This was his thesis in college at Harvard. There's actually, it used to be online. You can see a short film version of House Party when at the end. So it's just only the scene when he comes back home and his dad is bringing out the belt. But it's a short scene of that. Is Reginald Hudlin playing it. It's like his college video for his. His you used to be able to find it online before, but I'm not sure if it's out there. So if you can find it, maybe I'll find it and put it in here. But so he was trying to get this movie done. He's like, all right, I'm gonna do this. So the concept of the film is based around "Bad Boy Tonight" by Luther Vandross. He heard the song and was like, man, what about if it was just a night of somebody doing all this stuff that Luther Vandross is talking about? Like, we kicking it, we partying all night, and they get home and it's, you know, and he's running from his dad. So there's the whole concept. So DJ Jazzy Jeff end up turning it down. They end up selling the lawsuit. New Line sent him another way. I think they might have had to end up cutting him a check eventually. So then Reginald Hudlin were back at the drawing board because they wanted like a black hip hop group or someone to be a part of this. So someone tells Reginald Hudlin about Kid and Play. Us hip hop people knew Kid and Play were like routing because they're being big. I remember they had Funhouse already. They already, you know, on this precipice of blowing up. And they met with them at some place in New York, and they were like, "Man, I don't even know y'all that popular." And they came out and was a crowd of people around them and talking to them and everything. And Reginald Hudlin was like, those are my two dudes for my movie.
Right.
So, and then that's how we get House Party on the basis of that. Then they get a young Martin that they see in Talking Dirty After Dark. They were like, okay, he could be Bilal as the DJ. Tisha Campbell, originally, I think Tashina Arnold was originally supposed to play the role of AJ Johnson was playing because Tisha Arnold and Tisha Campbell came up together in the game. They were in Little Shop of Horrors. They did a whole bunch of like Broadway stuff as kids, all this kind of stuff. So it's like incestuous on that level with that. And then Full Force came in because Kid and Play was like, is these dudes. No, at first they heard a song from them. And they're like, man, those dudes doing it right. Because they did, it was Lisa Nicole Jam, All Cried Out.
All Cried Out.
I'm going to Take You Home and stuff. And they were like, man, we want you to do something for the soundtrack. That's what the original, but people didn't know what Full Force really looked like. You got to remember this, folks. Like Full Force biggest hits were written for other people, not necessarily theirs until the song they did for the House Party. They had the songs, but then they were like, they had a meeting with them and like, oh, those dudes need to be the bullies. They don't understand these big dudes, but they got long Jerry curls. And they wear these long earrings, but they yacked. Like everybody in the group is yacked.
They look like bullies.
Yes. Even though they're like 30 years old playing people in high school, which is a whole thing. But
and
so
that some great songwriters too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're talking about Lisa Nicole Jam, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, Christina Aguilera, Cheryl Pepsi Riley. It's in there. They ain't hurting for no money. And a hip hop fact, Boogaloo Lou discovered Nicki Minaj.
Bow-legged
Lou discovered Nicki Minaj.
Did not know that. Wow.
She was in a group called the All Stars with his son.
Okay.
It's the Stars or the All Stars with his son, and that's how she got put on into the game.
Okay.
Bow-legged Lou, and he was like, I couldn't do nothing, man. I'm older. He's like, I'm in the game, but I'm out. I'm more R&B, and then he kind of gave her up to some other people. But that's a small short story of House Party.
Okay.
But since I gave you all this information, Kyle, what do you think House Party would have been if we had a DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince in this?
That would have been interesting because you have to go back to the time frame because in what you just laid out,
Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince were really, really, I want to say, Rock the House. Their first album came out in like 87.
Yep. Parents Don't Understand is right coming out there. Is it the same time?
Yeah, that was 88 when the second album came out. Parents Just Don't Understand, which was, to my knowledge, the first double hip hop CD. I mean, well, of course, we didn't have CDs back then, but it had enough to qualify as a double album. Incredible album. In the year of 1988, my personal opinion, the greatest year in hip hop. We could talk about that another time.
We have to have I'm gonna put that in.
Listen, I got 88 lined up. There's no year that's beating 1988.
Okay, right? So hold. Okay, so we off just a little bit. 88 is actually He's the DJ, I'm the Rapper.
Okay, yeah, that's what I meant to say. He's the DJ, I'm the Rapper.
Yeah, that's 88.
I think Rock the House came out. Parents Just Don't Understand was on He's the DJ, I'm the Rapper.
Yes, so this is the album to get in trouble for because Nightmare on My Street is the first song on the album.
Exactly.
So what's even funnier, you think about if you wanted to kind of hide it, you should have put it. I mean, they probably didn't think about it because this is early sampling. This before this is right when Biz got jammed up too, right?
No, this is before Biz got jammed up. So everybody back then was just sampling and just that sampling was a big thing, and nobody had gotten pinched for it, if you will. And so I don't think Biz's case, came until like 92, 93, somewhere around there. But by then, so many groups had already sampled. And that's why when you look at a group like De La Soul, for those first couple of albums, they sample so much stuff and none of the samples got cleared. So they never made any money off of it. So that goes back to what you said about, Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. Was on the He's the DJ, I'm the Rapper. Again, a double album. But the thing about it was that particular song, which was a funny song, but yeah, he did, sample and use and I ain't seen the video in forever, so I couldn't even tell you what was in the video. But yeah, he did sample Nightmare on Elm Street, and it was a play on Freddy, and there was a Freddy Krueger in the song or what have you. Mm-hmm. And so I can see how they got into trouble. I never knew that there was a law. Maybe I did know that there was a lawsuit. I didn't know that they had to have a movie deal behind it. So that's a crazy story in and of itself.
The official thing: New Line Cinema copyright holders of the Nightmare on Elm Street film franchise sued DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, his record label, for copyright infringement, forcing the label to destroy a music video produced for the song. Though a copy of the video did survive and is available online. Both sides eventually settled out of court, but as a result, vinyl pressing the album He's a DJ, I'm the Rapper contained a disclaimer sticker that says this is not part of the soundtrack and is not authorized.
Mm-hmm. And what's interesting is if you were like me and got the tape when it first came out, I don't have that disclaimer on it. So, that didn't come until down the road with that particular tape. But,
so the reason I know about the movie part is Jazzy Jeff tells the story about that they were going to do the movie instead to back up them to not get this lawsuit was basically the thing.
So
that was going to be
crazy.
So if it was DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince in house party, I mean, like what is this movie? What does this movie look like? What is this?
That's a very interesting question, and I don't know if it would have been as successful. And it's not because Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince weren't talented, because they clearly were. But in the album, when you hear Rock the House, their first album, when you hear He's the DJ, I'm the Rapper, you get the semblances of the comedic side of Will Smith, Fresh Prince.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff, not so much, because DJ Jazzy Jeff is one of the greatest DJs ever, period. Hard stop. There's no debate there. His personality, I don't think we got until we started seeing him on the Fresh Prince with Will Smith. And he's funny, but I don't know if he's like comedy.
That's
funny.
A bit role though too.
Yes,
it's
exactly.
Not throughout the whole, like he's doing that for 3 minutes on every other episode. He's not having to carry an episode.
Exactly. And to be able to carry a whole movie, I don't necessarily know. The flip side of it is with Kid and Play, they had already had an established, like you said, fan base. I want to say their first tape was already out by then.
I think that's Funhouse, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. And then I think I can't remember if that one, if it was that one or the second album that had Getting Funky on it. But they had a fan base, and even then, Which one?
Too Hype is the first one.
Too Hype. Okay, that's it.
October 88.
88. Another.
There you go.
Again,
There you go.
Again. And that was on the bottom of 88. So that wasn't even like the
this one's got some joints. Rolling with Kid and Play on here. Hola.
Exactly.
Too Hype is on here. Yeah, they got some joints.
So, and they probably were like the 25th best album in 1988. But I digress.
Getting Funky's on here too. Oh,
yeah. I'm telling you, D. 88 was crazy, but again, we'll talk about it. I don't want to go to.
Man,
we'll talk about it. Here.
That's my joint, Getting Funky with them.
Telling you, and so they had by the time that movie comes out, they had a stat because I want to say House Party came out in like 89, 90, somewhere around there. I know I was in high school, but yeah, they so
89, I think.
89. Okay, so I was close. So I mean, so they had a fan base, but even then, and
90, March of 90. Sorry,
okay,
March of 90.
Okay, so by then, even with a director such as Reginald Hudlin, you still don't know. I mean, he's handpicked, Kid and Play, but they've never acted before, so we don't know. I mean, like you said, Tisha Campbell had acted. Obviously,
AJ
when you have
Martin
AJ
had already
Johnson,
acted.
Yeah. Robin Harris was in the movie. Obviously, he was hilarious. But I mean, and John Witherspoon.
John Witherspoon is already in there. I mean, Tisha Campbell's dad in that movie had been acting a whole bunch of stuff. If y'all remember him, I forgot his name, but he had been in a whole bunch of stuff in the 70s.
But the leads, as far as like Kid and Play, Martin, they had never, been anything big, a major motion picture. This was their first time. So, to take a chance on them and to have a studio take a chance on Reginald Hudlin, who was a young Black director. And at the time, there weren't a lot of Black directors. There was Spike Lee, and that was about it. John Singleton was just on the cusp.
He wasn't even out yet. This is before John Singleton.
Yeah, exactly. John Singleton didn't drop Boys in the Hood until 91. So, so it was just pretty much a Spike Lee, really, in Hollywood. So to take a chance for studios to take a chance on Reginald Hudlin, and then for him to take a chance on these rappers who had a bubbling, but it wasn't like, Kid and Play weren't household names. They weren't LL Cool J. They weren't Run DMC. No. So, but they had a certain appeal, and the movie I think was funny enough to where they could hold it as far as their acting ability. And then they had the look. They had a party-esque type look. I don't know if Jeff and Prince could have pulled that off.
And I wonder if Jeff wouldn't even want to do it like that. Like, would Jeff even have been in like his? Because if you hear things about him now when he talks about it, like, dude, I am glad I'm not famous. Like, he even says it like.
I heard him talk about that.
It was just an interview on Sway. He was just like,
on Sway. I saw that.
Like, I guess
they
went out. He was like, they went to. He said back in the day, I guess they went to go get some random.
He said they went to the mall.
And just get some random. It wasn't even
he was like going to get some shoes or something.
Yeah.
And he said they went in. He said they took about 30 steps. He went about 30 feet, and he said that by the time that they started walking, 1,000 people had rushed them, and they had to leave. And he was like, he was like, at that point right there, he's like, he knew he didn't want to be famous. But Will Smith at the time was famous. He's like, I can go get groceries. He's like, Will Smith can't do that. And so
I can touch my apples and stuff.
and when you hear stories like that, it makes you kind of appreciate that type of. Because Jeff is one of those guys that can literally just blend in the crowd. I mean, of course, if we saw him on the street, we'd see him and acknowledge him. But, Will Smith can't just walk in the mall. Will Smith probably hasn't walked in the mall in 20 years. But maybe 30 years.
This time in 88, I want to say arguably, because I'm looking now, that Getting Funky album is gold. It went gold. I would argue that they're on par in popularity in 88.
On par with Fresh Prince and Jazzy Jeff?
In 88.
No, I'm gonna tell you why. When they dropped Parents Just Don't Understand, that changed the game for them. And that was 88. And not only did it change the game, but it opened them up to not just Black radio, but they got major spins on MTV. And that was a game changer. Kid and Play never saw that kind of
they never got
in fame. And so you think about that, and then you have the basis from the Parents Just Don't Understand video, And the concept of that then leads into the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, which I think came out, I want to say 90, 91, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I think it's 90.
So all of that. So let's say if it's 90, now Will Smith has a hit record with a smash video and a TV show. You know, I don't know that
September 10th, 1990 is the first.
Okay, there you go. So yeah. I mean, and the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was a hit from day one. And so to have that, Kid and Play, while they reached certain heights, they never got to that level. So I don't think that's why I disagree. And I don't think they would have been able to now they had success because like you said, the album went gold, but you know, Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince were the first hip hop artists to be recognized as at the Grammy.
Yeah, best rap performance. Yep,
exactly.
And that's the same for the players don't understand.
Exactly. So I mean, like that record took them out of there. And like I said, I don't think Kid and Play would have kept it on that type of level.
Yeah. So for the film though, I think that it was the smarter move to do Kid and Play. First of all, they're a tandem. Yeah. So they're already and it's a different relationship that Will has with his DJ than Kid and Play have. Because then they actually have a real DJ. What is his G Wiz?
G Wiz. Yep.
Is Kid and Play's actual DJ. So they actually have their own DJ.
Mm-hmm.
But their relationship and their dance moves and their chemistry amongst each other in general, I think is more than Will and Jeff's, if that makes sense. On that level for a film.
Makes total sense. I mean, like, because Kid and Play are partners, you know, through and through. And not just with their dance moves, but also their rhymes. You know, when you hear them rap, they're going
back and forth.
They're going back and forth. You know, we not gonna hear Jeff rap.
Yeah,
it's just not. I mean, but he did his things on the ones and twos. But I mean, like, so the dynamic of Kid and Play fit for that particular movie, wherein I don't know that it would have fit for Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
Yeah, because I'm assuming that you're going to put Will Smith in the kid role with Robin Harris. And I can't. Will Smith definitely plays goofy well sometimes, but he's too cool though too.
Exactly.
Like Kid was goofy, but somewhat cool, where it's like you can like, all right, he's a regular dude, but like I think Will has too much charisma to pull off the super dorky dude. I'm not saying super dorky, but this dude getting picked on and stuff.
Exactly. And Play was like that. Play was cool.
Yeah.
And so
it'd have been two cool people. Like
exactly. Play was cool. Kid was cool, but Kid was cool and goofy. He had the hot.
Yeah.
And let's just be honest. The high top fade changed everything for Kid and Kid and Play and for the culture and the styles, because that was something that we saw on the screen that you saw every day in the hood, people wearing that type of hairstyle. And so, like, it's not that they could not have made a successful movie. I think the thing is because we've seen it, I don't know that anybody else could have played that role other than Kid and Play, particularly from hip hop.
Yeah, and it's just certain things that it's like all the stars aligned with it. Because I feel like if you did the Will Smith, Jazzy Jeff, so you don't have, so who's the DJ then? So I'm assuming that Jazz is going to play a combination role of the Martin role and Play together. They probably had that would have cut out the just DJ role and had him be his DJ and that, but then you lose the battle aspect of it.
Exactly.
So basically the whole thing would just be him versus the bullies. So you wouldn't have no dance battle. There's no Kid and Play dance, or the kick step, not the Kid and Play dance. It's called the kick step.
Yeah.
There's no kick step dance. It's those things that were so much bigger, and I'm not trying to slight Will Smith when I say this. I feel at that time Kid and Play were more in the underground crevices of hip hop, where you get the kick step dance, you get all those different things. Will Newham was yes, he was in Philly, but it's something different because they were in the middle of it all. They're dancing behind Salt and Pepper. Like, it just felt like they were more prepared to show like these young kids being in having a hip hop party.
Oh, no doubt. And you think about it, like Will Smith and Jazzy Jeff, they had dancers.
The I Only Listen to 90s Music podcast is a show for 80s babies who were 90s kids. If you were a No Limit soldier, then this is your show. If you believe that Cash Money is not an army but was a Navy, this is the show for you. If you and your friends ever tried to sing a song written by Escape, In Vogue, Shy, or Boyz II Men at a talent show during middle school, this is your show. The I Only Listen to 90s Music podcast is a bunch of 80s babies talking about all the songs and things that we loved when we were kids and teenagers. So if you went to the skating rink and you were at a lock-in, this is the show for you. If you think that Tevin Campbell was the original Prince of R&B, this is the show for you. If you don't understand the conflict between Monica and Brandy, but you're kind of on Monica's side and understand why Brandy got punched, this is the show for you. Make sure that you tune in, subscribe, click the little subscribe link. We're here. We're going to talk about all things 90s music. This is the show for you.
Kid and Play could dance. There's a difference.
They were the dancers.
They were the dancers. You know what I'm saying? So like everything that I think the structure of House Party would have had to have changed, because like you said, there's really no play. I mean, there's really no Kid and Play like how Will and Jeff would have been. So it being able to play those roles. I mean, even if you put Jeff as the DJ, make him Bilal, who's his, kid or his.
And now you have to go out and cast somebody random.
Exactly. So, and you don't know. So in that instance, Jeff is just making a cameo basically. He's not,
and then you don't get Full Force in this too, because Full Force became because Kid and Play was trying to get their song get them for the soundtrack
because of relationships. And Kid and Play, I think, already had a relationship with Tisha Campbell.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure they already had a relationship with AJ Johnson, and so there's kind of like a domino effect right there. And again, it's not
Groove Be Chill. Groove Be Chill is in there,
you go.
as well. That's a relationship with the
all of them ran together. You got to remember too, in rap at that particular time, you had different crews and stuff, but a lot of people ran in the same circles, because I remember when, and there's a picture of it somewhere, it's floating around, when Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince boycotted the Grammys and didn't go. They went to some party, and it's like everybody from the rap, it wasn't even hip hop back then. Everybody from the rap game was at that party, and they were taking pictures and having a good time. And they just,
and everybody that boycotted went to that party. Everybody that boycotted, so it was like a big picture of them outside of it. Like it was like, because I remember it was it Public Enemy boycotted. It was a couple of, let me see, I can tell you.
A lot of, I think Salt and Pepper. It was a lot of hip hop luminaries that were there. And so like, even just having that, you saw the camaraderie. And so people, they stuck together, they backed each other up, because again, at this particular time, rap was a bubbling genre. It had been around since 73, but it was just now getting recognized, nationally and globally. So if you put Kid and Play in that, if you take Kid and Play out of that movie, like I said, I don't necessarily know that it would have been structured to where you got Fresh Prince, Jazzy Jeff, and them now technically to settle the lawsuit. They're they're working together, but they're not, and they're in the movie, but they ain't really, together. You know what I'm saying?
They just and to force somebody to kind of do that to pay off a debt. How is that going? Like, how does that person's performance going to really be?
Yeah, that is crazy. And I mean, again, Will had just started acting. Jeff really hadn't acted that much. So I don't know that that's crazy to make them kind of pay off that kind of debt like that. We're going to put y'all in a movie and you're going to have to pay off this debt.
And I'm sure at a lower rate.
Oh, no question. No question. And so
it's just that movie is so, I'm glad it didn't go that way. Not because of, and I'm not hating on Jazzy or Will. And I'm saying is it actually was able to give hip hop a longer pollination, because it like you said, that Parents Don't Understand crossed over so much that it was a thing of like, oh, those are the only two rappers type of feel, potentially to a mainstream audience, you know what I mean, or like understanding hip hop. Like, so like if you go back to this, 89 is the first this performance. It's the other nominees are JJ Fast, Supersonic, Kool Moe D, Wild Wild West, LL Cool J, Going Back to Cali, Salt and Pepper, Push It. So. And it's nothing against Parents Don't Understand. And I love the video concept is crazy. Like the idea of that whole thing is crazy. But if you really want to be for real, like for real, it could have been any of those other songs I named that were nominees should have won over that song.
Yeah, yes and no, but I mean, like, it's because of the popularity of that particular song. Like, that again, that song, the thing that made Parents Just Don't Understand crazy was, I remember my dad, who didn't know anything about rap, asking me about that song, and I played it, and he was like, "Man, I kind of like that Fresh." No, he didn't call him Fresh. He said, "I like that Jazzy Jeff guy." And when the video came on,
because Jazzy Jeff was first, the name first.
Exactly, because the DJ came first back in the day. And so, like, everybody, when the video would come on, you stop and watch it. So, and it is not by coincidence that when
you watched the Friday night videos, didn't you?
Oh, of course. MTV, the Friday night videos, the box, whenever it was, whenever it was requested.
I remember seeing on Friday night videos
every single time. And what was interesting was, once that time period passed, and then you roll over into the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, the intro is basically that video. It's the same concept. So and that was, it wasn't by coincidence. So I think that was really like a springboard to, where Will was trying to go, and Jazzy Jeff.
And a House Party is like, I'm thinking of it offhand. That's not the direction Will would have wanted to go, because that's more of a Will wanted to be bigger than just a black actor in a black movie.
Of course.
And House Party is black actors in a black movie. I'm just being honest. That's what it is.
What it is. But it's a franchise too. It's a franchise. If you think about it, I said, if you think about House Party, is a franchise.
Even further, how would it had we would have got a House Party? And I'm going back to, I think it would have been a decent film, but I don't think it would have been iconic. And it'd have been, I'm trying to think of some random that came out in 88 that's movie wise. Do you remember the movie True Identity?
Nah.
It was a black dude. He basically owed money to the mafia, and he dressed himself up as a white man to try to sneak away from him and everything.
Okay.
He died at it came out in 91. So, but this is a little bit applicable. It's called True Identity. It came out in 91. It stars Lenny Henry as the main role, as Miles Pope. But it was a big at that time. It was in all the bus stops around my way. It was a big poster there. But it was a little hip hop. They tried to hip hop infuse it a little bit, but that's an afterthought movie. It's just a movie. I just told you that movie, and you didn't even know about. I remember it. You may remember if you see like the trailer and be like, "Oh, I remember hearing that on the radio," or like a movie like that T.C. Carson jumped off in Living Large.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
That's what I think House Party would have been.
Yeah,
it would just been another throwaway film that is a black film that came out in the early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
But the iconicness of the dancing,
if Jeff couldn't dance, that was gonna be a problem. So
that's what I'm saying. So you'd have to hire another actor to come in, and then now they gotta have cohesive dancing. So now me and you have to have time and dancing, and they already had coming in the gate.
Exactly, and they got to be able to rap, because, like you said, when Kid and Play raps, regardless of whether or not you think they had bars or anything like that, they have fun raps, and they rapped initially against each other, and then with each other. So it was
serviceable rappers. I don't know what the people talking about. Like, we ain't saying they ruined the world, but they were quite. They got. They were solid.
They were solid. It's, particularly for that time, very solid. And again, you didn't have to worry about them cussing and all that kind of stuff like that, because just like Fresh Prince, they had G-rated raps. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a whole bunch of cussing
until
and sexual
last album when they tried to diss Luke.
I mean, that was different then. You know what I mean? So, but I think
it's Face to Face. I think is the name of the album. Yeah,
it came in the game a certain way. So it was same for Will Smith. He came in the game a certain way, and it was that music you could play for for your mom, your granny, anybody. And even further along, Summertime is one of the greatest. It's a hip hop anthem. Ain't no cussing in Summertime, and it's a feel good song, even to this day.
And I mean, you got to think about the franchise of Kid and Play off of this movie. It become kids, y'all understand? They had Kid and Play dolls. Mm-hmm. They had a Kid and Play cartoon that came on Saturday morning cartoon.
I can't remember if they had a Kid.
They may have.
I do remember the Kid and Play doll, but I mean, like, so if you take Fresh Prince out of that and you put him in House Party, Fresh Prince probably doesn't, maybe he sticks to those type of movies, but he doesn't make his way to, Independence Day.
Yeah.
He doesn't make his way to being the big Hollywood.
Because you can get sucked up in this. You got to think about, they got a movie. The next House Party dropped, I think in a year or two later. That's a good check. I got a cartoon. I got dolls. I'm good. We rolling.
Exactly.
They dropped the album with the Ain't Gonna Hurt Nobody. I got another hit.
Exactly. Like you said, I mean, like there was never a time where Will Smith probably wasn't eyeing the fact that he could be Hollywood's biggest star. And I don't want to say shortly, but later on in life, he would become that. You know what I'm saying? So it would have, the trajectory of both groups would have changed tremendously, but I don't think it would have worked and been as successful for Will Smith if he had done House Party and stuck with it.
So yeah, no cereal for Kid and Play.
Okay.
But
I knew it was
I feel like it was something close to that. It might have been some off-brand stuff, Playing Kid or something. But I do remember
the cartoon and everything.
Yeah, and then like you said, then there's a sequel, House Party 2, then Class Act, then House Party 3.
Yes.
And now you have a whole, franchise built off of that, even though there's we don't talk about any of them after 3. I
stopped watching.
Yeah, I got a great concept for a reboot of House Party with them two in it, like concept. That'd be awesome, and it would pay homage to the older folks and younger people at the same time.
Okay.
It's simple though too. It's not even nothing brain science. It's just I don't know if people even want to do that as much. But like you think about House Party 2, which I mean it launched so many careers as well, the House Party franchise.
No doubt. And I mean, like,
I don't see Will coming back for part 2 though.
No,
I'm talking. That's a part of it too. I think I can see Will said, "I'm not doing 2," and then let's say they had a play that they hired. He'd have been the main person in the House Party 2, and with no Fresh Prince.
Exactly, and by that, if you do that, then everything changes. The whole structure of what you've made changes, and it doesn't even look or feel the same as it would have, for a kid. Of course, hindsight 2020, but what we're talking about here is hypothetical. But I couldn't see Will Smith doing it either. I just couldn't.
Yeah, I mean, probably, and also if you remember, then Will needed the bread though too. He was in tax problems too.
Yes.
So maybe
maybe he doesn't. He probably would have done it because, like you said, he needed the money, But the thing about that is that, how much better or how much more would it have pushed him up the ladder? That I'm not sure of. Because I know, the House Party franchise is very successful. I mean, don't get it twisted. It was successful. And it was very successful for Kid and Play. But I mean, like when we look and we compare the two, as far as Kid and Play and Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, their star shine a whole lot more brighter than theirs did. And I mean, they made a good living. Don't get me wrong. And they probably still, I don't know if they still tour, but they probably pop up here and there, do little shows here and there, still get money, Yeah,
I mean, Kid and Play is on every night, all those 90s tours that's going out here now, doing well. Fleur, and for Play, he parlayed this all into Marion Sherry Headley from Coming to America. So I know he was.
Oh, for sure.
He parlayed
sure.
this.
Are they still married?
No, I don't think they're married.
Okay.
But also you got to remember, and Play also brought the style of dress to this because Play was, so people don't know, Play basically helped Dapper Dan get the spot started. He was one of the people coming up with the ideas for like the 8-ball jacket and all this stuff for Salt and Pepper. He was designing everything for everybody that was up under Herbie Love Bug. So all Kid and Play's gear for other people. He was that guy. So he was the one like, no, we're gonna be dressed like this in the movie. So they basically had a designer on set of being like, no, we don't dress like that. Like they may have a fashion wardrobe person be like, no, we gonna need to put these jeans with this, and these lime green LA gear, whatever loafers, and that's what's gonna rock.
Oh yeah,
he was that guy with it. Like so, they got so much involved with that. And I don't think you get those ancillary things from Jeff and Jeff and Will at the time. Like those other intangibles.
You got to think about it. To your point, you know, Kid and Play were very outgoing, very, you know, very energetic. Jazzy Jeff was always like a kind of like the guy who played the bass. He's a relatively quiet guy per se. Where Will is this big personality and always has been. And I'm not saying that wouldn't have worked for Jeff and Will. It would have just looked very different because, like you said, Play had the style, and Kid with that hairstyle. Like I said, they changed the game at that particular time in a very small way, but it contributed to the culture. And so, you know, I don't know that it would have long term or short term for that matter worked for Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
Yeah, this is one of those interesting ones. I'm sure Reginald Hudlin, I would love to ask him about that. I was like, wow, how are you gonna do this with DJ? Like, how was you even, or maybe all of this came together after he lost them, was like, I got to figure out something else, like, you know, and then he saw.
I'm pretty sure that's what happened. I'm pretty sure that's what happened because the structure of what he was going to try to do with the movie, I would think that would have definitely changed once you have to change your personnel. And like you said, in the setting it up and setting up the story, once he saw Kid and Play, he was like, those are my guys. Like, and
he may have created Play's role. Play's role may have been created. And you know what? I'm thinking now, it may have been a singular Will Smith movie as the guy going to this house party that Jeff is DJing at, and Jeff doesn't have to be out there, but you have to have all these other characters based around Will, and he's running from Robin Harris all night, and as his father.
Yeah, man. I mean, like that whole movie,
and these bullies, whatever bullies,
and these bullies. Yeah, we'll kick your fucking ass,
dude. Well, and I wonder if the bullies were even in there, because I wonder if because the original concept, I believe, was just him trying to stay from his dad all night, like his dad, Robin Harris, trying to find out where he is all night.
Man, listen, rest in peace, Robin Harris.
Yeah,
man, if y'all went around,
John Witherspoon too.
Pure comedy. I mean, like pure comedy. I would have loved to have seen and heard what the outtakes look like from that movie. But I mean,
think about, he was going to be the original Def Comedy Jam.
Yes. And Robin Harris was somebody whose star really was starting to blow up.
It was right there.
He was right there, and then he passed away.
People don't understand. I remember. Do you remember? We're talking about Robin Harris. Do you remember when you heard about Bebe's Kids? Not when it in the cartoon, but like when people were talking about the joke. It got so big. I hadn't even saw the stand up, and I knew half the joke.
Hilarious.
You saw
everybody was saying the joke. That's why you knew.
Small world. Like. And then you finally see it, and you like, oh my God, he put up. But you knew all the jokes. People come to school saying it. It was all kind of stuff of like,
we Bebe's kids. We don't die, we multiply.
People don't even know. People, when they say, man, all these Bebe kids around here, that came from Robin Harris. Exactly. And that is now a term to talk about bad kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. I mean, that dude, he was almost there. And when I say almost, I mean, of course, he made the cameo in Do the Right Thing with Spike Lee. And because he was Sweet Dick Willie, him and his boys, they was up under the tree in Brooklyn. But yeah, he was one, and I mean, like, even his role and his parts, every scene he was in that movie and House Party, you were laughing. Follow the drips.
Follow the drip. And that was AJ. That was the other AJ Johnson, the actual guy AJ Johnson.
Yeah,
with the Jerry curl in there, the comedian. And he was like,
and
he had no reason to diss that kid. He was just standing there. He just literally just looked at him, was like, it's like, boy, complete, you ain't gonna never not be in trouble.
Like, the other dude told him, he's like, man, why don't you just go home, Pops?
He did say that to him. Yeah.
He's like, why don't you just go home, Pops, man? That's one of those movies, man, that you just put it on and you just laugh, because it's like every scene Robin Harris is in is funny. Every scene. And
then like the bullies, like the whole thing of like, dude, so y'all really this mad at them all day?
Yeah, all day. They've been wanting to fight Kid all day long. Full Force was on his bumper all day
and then
long.
they wanted to burn the house. And then it was so funny. And it was like, I mean, I'm down with kicking some ass, but not.
And then, you know, the racist cops who was harassing them. I mean, it was just, I miss those slapstick comedies. Like Who's the Man was another one like that was funny.
The Man,
like that,
yes.
with star-studded, you know, hip hop art.
I feel like that's the most star-studded hip hop movie I feel like ever.
And everybody was in that movie.
They had West Coast rappers in there, Midwest rappers. It was everybody was in there. Like every role was somebody from rap almost.
You go back and watch that. Ed Love and Dr. Dre. Funny movie. The 90s, it was different. It was a good time, man. It was a good time. You know, they were starting to let us in as far as like not just the traditional actors. And I thought that was good for Hollywood. And it turned out to be profitable for a lot of us.
Yeah, I think Who's the Man may be on Tubi, people.
Really?
Check it out. No, it's not on Tubi. It's
if it was on Tubi, I'd check it out because I haven't seen it in about a year or two.
It used to be streaming on I believe
probably can find it somewhere. Yeah,
you can find it. Y'all can find it. But yeah, this is us. As they did the right thing at the end of the day of having
no doubt
play instead of DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. Will Smith, aka Will Smith, doing this because then Will Smith he's not going to be able to do Fresh Prince or like I said, he wouldn't have been in part 2 because that's filming. Part 2 is getting ready to start filming. It would just everything would have been in the flux. It would have went, and I don't even know. And I'm wondering if other people's careers not being as good. Does Tisha Campbell not become as big because this movie isn't a big highlight for her? You don't get Martin getting a chance to even meet Tisha Campbell, which ends up helping them catapult to do Martin, the TV show Martin. Like there's so many different cogs in the system.
And you think about it too, to your point, for Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, even as they take off, Will takes off with his show, the music stops. You know, he doesn't record as much after that. I know they did another album in 91, and then I think they did another album after that, and then there was a long break in between albums. And you know, Will is there every week getting that check. Jazz is coming in and out, but you know, they have
2 more albums after that, 3 more albums after that. They did after that's In This Corner, then Home Base, which has Summertime on there.
Yep.
In This Corner has I Can Beat Mike Tyson.
Beat Mike Tyson. Yeah.
Then they do Cold Red, and that's the last album.
Yeah, and
Cold Red in 93. That's the last one.
It was not that good.
Yeah, talking about that Cold Red.
Yeah, it wasn't that good.
That was the one. That was when it was like, oh, you could tell that Will was trying to get into that jiggy era with that song "Boom Shake the Room." Boom, boom, boom. T.
That song was god awful.
And then he had another song on there called "I'm Looking For," which wasn't a bad song. "I'm Looking for Someone." That was straight, but you could tell that he wanted to get into that sound.
And by that time, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was like one of the top 5 TV shows in America. So he was just playing around at that point. He ain't had to make no more music.
Wow, Pete Rock produced 3 songs on here, man.
Who's that?
Pete Rock produced 3 songs on this album.
That's news to me because I know I heard that album twice and I never heard it again.
The first song is a Pete Rock song on the album.
Okay. Wow.
First song, the 6th song, and the 10th song. Okay. But yeah, this everything would be different. This hip hop history would be totally different. And this is one of those that we are glad that it went the way it went.
Yeah, totally.
Other hip hop players like, man, what would have been? No, this one went right. This one went exactly.
This one went the way it was supposed to go.
After this, Reggie Hudlin doesn't direct the next house party. He directs, I believe, Boomerang is his next movie.
Yep, Boomerang, which is
star-studded. Which is the basically the catalyst that helps us even see ourselves in rom-com situations as Black people, which takes us to a whole nother level, which ushers in your Best Mans, your Brown Sugars, your Love Jones, your Inkwells. Everything was built off of the Boomerang's back.
Everything. And if I'm not mistaken, they didn't really have a big budget for that movie. But that movie killed at the box office.
Eddie took less bread.
I don't blame him. I mean, man, I remember I saw it 3 times in the movie theater. And the third is crazy, D. The third time that I went to the movie to see Boomerang, there was a chick sitting next to me. And she had somebody sitting next to her. And the person that was sitting next to her was blind. And she was in the movie theater. She wanted to see the movie. She couldn't see it, but the chick who was sitting next to me was like whispering to her, telling her what was going on in the movie.
Oh,
I'd never seen anything like that in my life. But it was just
she
that
had on glasses and everything.
Yeah. I mean, she couldn't see, so I mean,
yeah. But I'm saying, but like, how did you figure out she couldn't see? Or is it like obviously?
She came in with a cane.
Oh, it came in with the okay.
Yeah, she came in with the joint, and so like, and she sat down. I was like, is this blind lady about to watch this movie? But I mean, but it was so popular, and I mean, like, this is a couple of weeks after it premiered. Like I said, it's my third time seeing it, and the movie theater's still packed. I mean, everybody's in every seat. You even had people sitting in the front row. Like, it was just crazy. But it was just, that was the movie that we all had to see. And it's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Me too. I mean, and have you sidebar with this, have you ever read the original script of Boomerang?
Nah.
I have to send it to you. I actually got it.
Well, I know you got it because you was Marcus Graham.
Yeah. So Inside Baseball, I was actually going to be in the 20th anniversary of Boomerang. It was Showtime was going to do a documentary, and they hit me up about doing it back then in 2012. Wow. I was going to be in the Showtime documentary. It was a big, but it didn't pan out.
Okay,
or whatever. So I got the original one. Marcus gets played way more, dog. He like proposes to Jacqueline at like a Mets game, like on the Jumbotron, and she turns him down.
Damn.
So like, you know, in the part where she like they break up, that scene is at the Mets game after he proposes to her on the Jumbotron.
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't get that version.
Yeah, it was way more. I mean, Marcus wasn't as cool in the original. And this is before, so Reginald Hudlin didn't write it. It was some other writers, and Eddie had. These writers pitched it to Eddie. Eddie was like, I saw this dude do great like you got it, you got comedy. He said you got comedy. Mm-hmm. You understand nuance of comedy. You saw House Party. He's like, I know a dude that can do it. And of course, Eddie is 92. Eddie, come on, y'all. Like,
right.
Whoever he wanted to direct at that time, they're gonna get the director's job
easily.
And he hit up Reginald Hudlin, was like, dude, check out. He's like, well, I need to do some changes to it now. He's like, do what you got to do. And there we have Boomerang.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I can get deep into the Boomerang bag, man.
Yeah, that's crazy. I love it. I love that movie. But yeah, it like you said, all in all, man, it worked out for Fresh Prince. It worked out for Jazzy Jeff. It worked out for Kid and Play.
Yeah. Well, Kyle, where can people hit you up and check out more of the Rap Soul Podcast, 12 Kyle Podcast?
Man, wherever you get your podcast, the Rap Soul Podcast and the 12 Kyle Podcast drop weekly. So check me out. And if you want to hit me up on socials, I'm there as well. 12 Kyle across the board. Yeah.
So shout out to everybody for listening as always, man. We'll have a voicemail by the next episode. I mean, the next one, we're gonna have a little voicemail. Y'all don't be wild on this episode. I mean, on the voicemail when we get it set up. Just give us your thoughts.
We take suggestions on Hip Hop What Ifs. We take suggestions.
Yeah, take suggestions. This one came from my man Marlon Bellamy, man. So one of the listeners actually emailed this to us, and I was like, this is a lighthearted one. So shout out to you, Marlon, man. This one's for you. See, as you can see, people can't actually give us their topics instead of we can run with them. But we will see y'all soon, and we appreciate y'all. Peace.
5,000.
What if DOC never got into that car accident? What if Ice Cube didn't leave NWA? What if the Game never leaves G Unit? What if Teddy Riley never moves to Virginia? What if we got that J. Cole and Kendrick album? What if the RZA would have never had that flood? How would the hip-hop world sound today? Welcome to Hip Hop What Is, the podcast where we dive into the biggest what could have beens in hip-hop history. From iconic album delays to game-changing partnerships that never happened. We reimagine the culture we love and explore its alternative paths. And you are now at Hip Hop What Is.